defensive effort, energy, and commitment. Like, that has not been there all year, and there is no doubt it's there now. And is that because, they're starting to win and it's creating this energy on that end, or was the energy starting first? But I think when you look at them defensively, they don't mirror the team that I saw earlier in the year.
The Lakers went from 19th in net rating to 4th in a single month. Their offense jumped from 11th to 3rd. Their defense climbed from 23rd to 8th. A 9-game win streak and 12 wins in their last 14 games through March.
As Gordon comes up with it. Smart with the steal. Marcus Smart goes inside, lays it up and in, and the Lakers regain the lead.
Luka's been the best player in the league over that stretch. Everyone knows that. But Luka was here before that too, and the Lakers were going nowhere. Defense is half the game, and that half was broken. So what actually fixed it? Marcus Smart. When Smart is on the floor, the Lakers are better. The numbers are clear. He leads the team in plus-minus at +4 among players with at least 40 games played. He has the best defensive rating on the roster at 110.9, and the three-man unit of Smart, Doncic, and Reeves has posted a +7.1 net rating across 30 games together. The most effective trio on the team. His absence makes the case even louder. After losing to the East-leading Pistons on March 23rd, JJ Redick didn't sugarcoat it. Not having Smart tonight killed us. A few days before that, against the Bulls, the Lakers gave up 130 points in a win, one of their worst defensive showings of the year. Redick's reaction afterward: "I wish there was something I could praise about our defense, but I'm not going to be able to." That's exactly what Smart feels. Redick has called him the team's glue guy, the one taking the toughest defensive assignment every night, doing the work nobody notices until it disappears. When he's gone, the whole thing starts to unravel. The Lakers are built around 3 ball-dominant creators: Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. That's a genuine luxury, one of the best offensive trios in the league on their best nights. But it comes with a real structural problem. Teams built like that can get predictable. The ball stops moving when defenses take away the first option, the offense stalls in half-court sets. Good teams in the playoffs, teams with real coaching and real preparation time, will find that pattern and attack it. You see it every postseason. A team looks unstoppable in the regular season, gets into a series against a disciplined defense, and suddenly the offense can't get clean looks because every action has a pre-scouted answer. Smart disrupts that. He gives the Lakers a 4th decision maker. It's not the most glamorous part of his game, but it might be the most important piece offensively because it stops the team from running the same 3 actions on rotation all night. He handles, he initiates, he makes reads late in the shot clock when the designed play breaks down. Defenses have to account for a 4th option who can actually create. That's coverage they can't always spare while loading up on Luka, LeBron, and Reeves simultaneously. On paper, you always want the ball in Luka's hands. But basketball is played possession by possession, not on paper. Rhythm breaks. Defenses adjust. And in those moments when the primary option isn't available and the shot clock is winding down, having a guy who can take control, create something out of nothing, and not turn it into a disaster is genuinely valuable. His raw stats won't make you do a double take. 9.5 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.4 steals per game. But that's not why he's here. He's vocal, he's assertive, and he makes his presence felt on both ends in ways that don't show up in the box score. If you want a real explanation for this Lakers run, it happened on defense. Before the All-Star break, the Lakers were 23rd in defensive rating, giving up 116.6 points per 100 possessions. That was the central problem, and Redick knew it. We're not going to be the #1 defense in the league, but being above average, that's the goal. They've been a lot more than average lately. Right now, the Lakers lead the entire league in charges drawn, and it's not even close. What's interesting is where those charges are coming from. Mostly the backcourt. Smart, Reeves, and Luka Doncic are drawing more offensive fouls than almost any team in the league by themselves. That's a mentality. Guys throwing their bodies on the floor, taking contact, sacrificing their own well-being for a possession because someone in that building decided it was worth doing. Smart is leading that charge. He's top 3 in the NBA in charges drawn, and he's brought a level of physicality to this team that it flat out didn't have before. This is who he's always been. One of the most feared defenders in the league for over a decade. The kind of player who competes like every possession is his last. And that mentality is contagious. When the smallest guy on the floor is throwing himself in front of a drive for the 3rd time in a game, the guys around him start doing it too. It's watching the guy next to you do something that hurts for the team and feeling like you can't do any less. The on-off splits tell you everything you need to know. With Smart on the floor. Defensive rating, 111.9. Net rating plus 8.3. Take him off the court. Defensive rating, 120.9. Net rating, minus 2.3. That's a 9-point swing in defensive rating based on whether one player is in the game. That's the entire defensive identity of this team rotating on a single player's availability. The Lakers' 9-game win streak in March, it ended the night Smart didn't play against Detroit. The Pistons dropped 42 points in a single quarter. Final score 113-110. Dennis Jenkins had a career night and was the difference between the two teams. Smart would have been the perfect player to slow Jenkins down. That's what this team looks like when he's not out there. Not worse, genuinely different. What makes all of this more remarkable is the roster he's doing it with. Smart might genuinely be the only true plus defender in the starting lineup. Luka is a more engaged defender than he used to be. He's bought in more than previous seasons, but he's not locking anybody up. LeBron at 41 is conserving energy on that end, picking his spots. Ayton protects the rim, but can't change a possession at the point of attack. Reeves, for all of his development as a player, is a target defensively. And yet, through this entire stretch, the Lakers have played like a top 1-0 defense. That's Smart orchestrating it. The communication and accountability at every level. When your defensive anchor is calling out every screen before it's set, talking on every possession, making sure 5 guys are in the right places at the right time, it elevates the players around him. Guys who are average defenders become solid defenders when they actually know where to be. The collective IQ of the defense goes up because one player is essentially supplying it for the whole group in real time. Nowhere is that effect more visible than with DeAndre Ayton. For most of the season, Ayton has been one of the more frustrating players in the league to watch. Talented enough to be a real factor, but prone to stretches where he looks completely disengaged. Soft on the glass, passive in the post, disappearing for long stretches without making any kind of impact. But over this recent run, something has shifted. Ayton is competing harder. He's showing up on the glass, finishing with more authority, and most noticeably, he's actually engaged on the defensive end in a way he hasn't been for most of the year. Smart deserves real credit for that. When you're playing next to a guy who is visibly giving everything he has on every possession, it gets harder to coast. Smart holds people accountable by making it obvious every single night what genuine effort looks like. For a player like Ayton, who's always had the tools but struggled with consistency and effort, playing alongside that standard every game has made a tangible difference. It's rare to see a 6'3" guard with over a decade of mileage have this kind of sustained defensive impact. But Smart has never been a typical guard. He's strong enough to battle wings and forwards in the post without getting pushed around. He's quick enough to stay in front of a fast guard in space. He's an irritant, the kind of player that makes opponents uncomfortable from tip-off and doesn't let up for 35 minutes. The advanced metrics back it all up. Estimated plus-minus in the 95th percentile. On-off defensive impact in the 94th percentile. Those numbers are in the same territory as what Smart posted during his Defensive Player of the Year campaign in Boston. After 3 seasons derailed by injuries, he's somehow back in that same range. That's a player who found exactly the right situation, one that demands everything he does best. Redick trusts him with the toughest matchups every night, the high usage stars, the elite playmakers, the best guards and wings. With the playoffs coming, there's no shortage of those. Defense is obviously Smart's calling card, but his role in the Lakers' run extends past that. He's been making shots. In March, he's shooting 36.7% from 3 on 5 attempts per game, up from 32% on 4.6 attempts before the break. That's a real jump. He's shooting better and shooting more. On a team with Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, spacing and defense is essential. Every credible shooting threat in the corner opens up more driving lanes for the ball handlers. When Smart's shot is falling, defenses have to respect him, and that creates a ripple effect on everything the Stars do offensively. A defense that can afford to sag off Smart and wall off the lane is much harder for Luka to operate against than one that genuinely has to guard 5 guys on the perimeter. There's one more thing about Marcus Smart that I think is genuinely underappreciated in how this team has come together. The Lakers group runs hot. Luka wears his emotions on his sleeve constantly. Redick is intense on the sideline. Every loss in LA gets picked apart nationally. Every performance gets ranked, questioned, and debated on the same day it happens. The pressure inside the building is relentless. And this specific roster can get rattled when things go sideways for a stretch. Smart is the counterweight to all of that. He plays with edge and physicality every time he's on the floor, but off it, he's the steadiest presence in that locker room. When the team was going through a rough stretch earlier in the season, guys visibly frustrated, body language across the roster starting to dip, Smart reset the tone. His message was direct. The way to get out of this is to keep playing. We're still in good shape. We've got to continue to trust. We can't let games like this deter us. That's not something you can fake or manufacture in a vet. That's a guy who's actually been through the worst of it and come out the other side. Smart spent years as the heart of the Boston Celtics team that went to the finals in 2022. He's experienced deep playoff runs, navigated genuinely difficult locker room dynamics, and competed under enormous expectations. Even after he was traded out of Boston, his imprint stayed on that team. They won the championship 1 year later, and you could still see his fingerprints on how that group competed when things got hard. He described how this Lakers locker room actually functions in a way that's worth paying attention to. LeBron and Luka don't really talk as much. They're locked in. So I regulate things, make sure everyone's good. That's the exact guy you need around 2 stars of that magnitude. LeBron and Luka are locked completely into performing. Smart is the one making sure the other 8 guys stay connected to what the team is trying to do. That's a really important role. One a lot of teams try to manufacture by committee and never quite find. Redick's decision to start Smart alongside Luka and Reeves with DeAndre Ayton and LeBron in the front court raised eyebrows when he first committed to it. On paper, it looked undersized, questionable defensively against physical wings. But the reality has been the complete opposite. That trio has posted a +20 net rating in nearly 600 possessions together. Offensive and defensive numbers that would rank among the best in the league. That's a lineup genuinely dominating the teams it goes up against over a long enough stretch that you have to take it seriously. All season, there were reports the Lakers were hunting for a 3 and D wing. A point-of-attack defender who could slot between Luka and Reeves and take on the opposing team's best perimeter player. Turns out they had that guy the whole time. When Smart's been in the starting lineup, he's played the best defense of his post-Boston career. The reason is straightforward. He needs to be challenged. When he's given the responsibility of guarding the other team's best player every night, he operates at a completely different level. And that intensity pulls the rest of the defense up with it, because nobody can coast when the guy next to them is going all out for 35 minutes straight. With Smart taking those tough perimeter matchups, Luka and LeBron can be more selective about where they spend their defensive energy. And by generating stops at the point of attack, Smart limits the number of drives that collapse the defense and create pressure on Ayton at the rim. The whole thing connects, one piece holding the rest of it together. The Lakers had all these pieces back in October. Luka, LeBron, Reeves, Smart. The pieces were there from day one. It just took until late February to get healthy and figure out how they actually fit and to fully commit to the identity this team needed to have. When they did, they became one of the better teams in the league within weeks. But the question that actually matters now is, what happens when the playoffs start? Opposing coaches will have real preparation time to specifically game plan around Smart, trying to make him uncomfortable offensively, sticking him in the corner, running pick and roll actions that force him to guard in space, hunting mismatches, all designed to neutralize what he brings defensively while targeting Luka and Reeves at the point of attack. That's what good coaches do. Every strength this Lakers team has built over the last 6 weeks can be attacked with the right scheme and enough time to run it. The question is whether this system holds up under that kind of sustained attention across 4 straight games against an opponent playing for its season. So do you actually trust this version of the Lakers to hold up when good teams find the right counter? Or is this a team that looks great until it faces the scrutiny of a real playoff series? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos just like this one, and check out one of these on your screen now.